Here we go. I do believe we're live, so I'll say indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you for joining me again on another conscious evolution. Another opportunity for us to consider all the other things. There is a plethora of things to be affected by and influenced by, and your opinions to be shaped through, and experience to be gained from. And in that, it is of utmost importance what other things we bring into our minds, right? Because there's only so much room, ultimately, I believe. Like, you have a certain amount of capacity as a person to do things in this world. Is it better or worse if two microphones? You let me know. One of them is sound isolated. Now one of them is off. I thought that I could sit here and stream because the rain was gonna fall from that direction, but I thought wrong. The rain is now coming from the other side. I think the clouds are moving over us as we have been streaming. I feel like the fact that the electricity is off is definitely bumming my brain out a little bit, to be completely honest. Right, like this is not like this is something that's been happening like 5 days out of the last 7. And it's kind of getting old a little bit. Just a wee bit getting old a little bit for me. Not having electricity. And I feel in a way, as I was introducing today's stream topic in the yoga class, and I started talking about all of these other things, right, all of these other things that are influencing us, shaping our experiences. That was actually one of the big things I was considering in that moment, is that I have all of these things in my mind that influence the way I think and shape, my value adjustment, to say it in so many words. And then there is not having electricity, which feels a little bit like the ultimate other thing. Right? Maybe you have all of these other things bouncing around in your head, like all of these other things you could be doing, all of these other projects that are left undone, etc., etc. And then not having electricity, and you're like, I am now living in another world, an other world, one where my computer does not switch on. All right. I can accept. I can accept a lot, it seems. I feel like that's one of the other things that I realized through this process, is that these experiences of discomfort just show me that, this is fine. I can handle this too, actually. Allows me a certain sense of solace, I guess, knowing that I cannot be broken easily. I am being influenced though, again, by this other. So maybe I should share this part with you so you can see in part where my mind is kind of like reeling. So today I spent time thinking about buying something. Right? I bought my mom a scale. I shared that story with a few friends, even the scale story. That scale ended up being out by like 1 or 2 fractions of a unit, which is too much. Essentially, it's like losing 10 to 20% of your profits, right? If you're packaging rusks. So I sent it back, right? And I got my account credited. But I have to spend the money on the account, right? And it's kind of how it is. I think I could have requested for the money to be paid back into my bank account, but I know that it's just less friction. They don't fight you if you ask for like store credit. So got store credit, right? And then it's something that's other, right? It's one of the other things now in my experience. And as this other thing has arisen, I go onto like our equivalent of Amazon. It's called Take a Lot, and I look for things. Right? Technically, I click on my list. I have a little list, and in my list, I see 2 different things. One of which is something called methylene blue. And you're like, what? What is methylene blue, Melt? And I'm happy that you asked because I'll tell you. Methylene blue is something that I found on a YouTube video, by someone making a video about it a while ago, right? Like a while ago. And then uh, I I start, reeling because now I have these other things competing for a potential amount of value, right? And then I go, the benefits of methylene blue. So methylene blue has been used as an FDA approved even treatment for treating methemoglobinemia, which is a condition where hemoglobin is unable to release oxygen effectively to body tissues. It works by converting methylhemoglobin back to its functional form, thereby restoring normal oxygen delivery. It is antimicrobial. It has cognitive enhancement and neuroplasticity or neuroprotection benefits. Research suggests that methylene blue may enhance cognitive function by improving mitochondrial efficiency and increasing cellular energy production. Its neuroprotective effects are being explored for the benefits in conditions like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's diseases. And I have Alzheimer's in my genes, unfortunately. It's an antioxidant and it's anti-inflammatory. Exhibits It is a potential cardiovascular, benefiting compound, and it is good for skin health as well. So, right, like it's good for you. It's good for you. But I think it's like $50 for like 60 mils. And then I ask about the dosage, and it's like, yeah, you're supposed to do like 1 to 2 milligrams per kilogram of body weight, which means for me, it would be about 80 milligrams technically. But you're not supposed to exceed 40 milligrams daily. But in one of those bottles, apparently it's about 1% in concentration, equating to about 10 milligrams per milliliter, which means you would have to take basically, for me, technically, to get the right dose, I would have to take that bottle in like 10 days, essentially. Even less, like 8 days or something. So yeah, it would be a little bit ridiculous. And then the stuff that's neuroprotective, if you will. Buy yourself solar panels or a solar panel, because for like an extra $30 or whatever, you can get a solar panel instead. And then I'm like, yeah, but you only need a solar panel when you don't have electricity. And then the power goes out as I'm doing my yoga class. And like I was having this whole conversation with myself just before the yoga class started as well. So yeah, these experiences do bring into our minds all of the other things. All right. These are one of those other things that I don't like experiencing. And it doesn't seem to be getting better. Oh, so fun. Golden Donut and Weatherman. Gateway and Kiefer. Who's gonna be the fifth one? I'm curious, Joe. Thank you for gifting all of these memberships. Plus memberships for the solar panel fund. Lane, yeah, you've got like triple friends on that one show. That's good accuracy. Thank you, Joe. Yeah, you know what? I think solar panel it is. I think it's been decided. It's gonna be something that will benefit us. And the battery is still like powering the Wi-Fi, but it could be potentially getting some rays and adding some electricity into it during the day. And when the power goes off like this, it's one extra thing not to worry about. Sam says, and it doesn't seem to be getting better. Life is like that. The getting better parts are often obscured. No, it's not actually, Sam. For the most part, right? Like things are getting better in a great deal many places in the world. It's just that the getting better isn't just yet equally distributed. So I feel like that is definitely in part something I'm thinking about. Like I do technically have two microphones on me right now, but one of them is more noise cancelling than the other. Hey, Samuka! Best viewers on all. Man, I thought it was a friend for a second. But it turned out to be a bot. It's okay, you are loved too, Mr. Robot. Find yourself a comfy seat. We'll have some conversations with you too. Gobbledygoo. Gobbledygoo. It's nice having you. I was spending some time thinking about you today, bro. Like I had some Siberian Husky, other things affecting my brain, and then I thought about you, of course, and your creatures in your home. Joy Viv is here too, saying, hey, I'm gonna walk to get my hair done in a couple of hours to test my knee out. It'll be the most walking I've done in a week. I think that's gonna be good exercise and a good test of strength as well. If that goes well, I'll be back in yoga tomorrow. You've been missed. Thank you, Joy V, for letting me know. It'll be nice having you back. My huskies are to die for. Literally. Literally, things have to die for them, bro. Literally, things actually have to die. Like, I mean, it might be a little bit morbid thinking about it that way. Same thing for cats, right? For a cat to exist, other things has to die. Right? That's just the reality of the situation. And that's one of those other things. One of those other things that we can be influenced by. What is influencing me more than anything right now? I want to use the word hope. I want to use the word hope. The other side of hope can be desperation, but I think it's hope. You know, hope in a better world, hope in a better future, hope in the resources to free myself from the problems that I'm facing right now. Right? And in that way, it feels like the resources I need to acquire isn't unachievable. Quite the contrary. But it might take some time. And there are so many other things that can get in the way in that process as well. And I feel like that's maybe the thing I'm trying to be aware of in today's stream, with today's conversation. I had this intention to directly after stream sit down and do some of these other things. And it is interesting to see how things happen. I do still think I'll have a window into that world that I can work through with these things, but I'll have to do that. I think with my electricity being off, I'm gonna try and conserve some of my battery power. But we showed up, and I thank you, friends, for showing up alongside me, with me for these moments. It is a dear pleasure having you here. I love you, and I thank you for joining me again. Taking a deep breath, softening.